So, Babes Wodumo and Mampintsha are married, um, and they paired up with parental advisory to document their road leading up to the big day. The big day, I believe, was sometime in April and sometime at the end of June. Their show Uthando Lodumo streamed on Showmax, and I believe it's also been on Mzansi Magic. Now I'm always late with these things. I watch shows when I want to because that's the advantage of having access to a streaming service. You watch the show when you want to. So I'm a whole month late watching Uthando Lodumo. And you know what? I loved it. I'm here for it. I'm here for their love. I wish them nothing but the best. May they prosper. Their family is already growing because they already have a child. Spongy. Oh, no. What a nickname. Sponge. I mean, I guess the child will absorb all the love from its parents. I don't know why they gave the child that nickname. So, anyways, the show been trending for the good reasons because everybody loved it, and I love it when our celebrities are trending for good reasons. We can't all just be swimming in a sea of negativity. So on the show Uthando Lodumo, we saw a couple of things as they opened the door into their lives. We got to meet Babes Wodumo's friends. Oh my god, they are the loveliest friends ever. So down to earth, so dramatic, so fun. For a moment there, I wish that maybe perhaps I might want to be part of that clique. It seemed like all they do is have fun when they're together. We met a couple of Mampintsha's people, his family members, uncles, his father, whereas they were talking about the Lobola negotiations. We met Mampintsha's mother. Wow, that one, very dramatic. Good luck, babes. Good luck with your mother-in-law. But it really seems like babes understand Mampintsha's mother, so there's nothing to be worried about there. And the biggest thing that we saw, of course, not the biggest, but yeah, is the proposal live on a radio station, Gagasi FM. That's how Mampintsha popped the question. That's how he asked babes to marry him. And wow, brilliant idea, brilliant proposal. Yes, babes was late, but whatever. She got engaged. She was happy. He was happy. Everybody was happy. Apparently, even the people at the radio station did not know that there was a surprise proposal going on. So I love that. Everybody was thoroughly and wonderfully surprised. Okay. Oh, also, we were privy to the Lobola negotiations. A little bit of that. We saw Umbondo, we saw Umembeso. But before the big day, we saw Babes and Mampintsha going to have a counseling session with a pastor. And you know what? I cannot stress this enough. The importance of premarital counseling. I'm glad that they did it. I'm glad that it was filmed and aired, in our society. I mean, I don't know how many people who get married do it, but it's advisable that everybody, before they get married, they do it, so that they can talk about the challenges that they faced before the big day. They can see what areas to work on individually and together as a couple, how they can grow and move forward in their love as a couple, And Babes Wodumo and Mampintsha did that, and kudos to them for that. And also before the big day, before the wedding, Mampintsha got a cultural consultant. Yeah, cultural consultant. That's how I wrote it, to ensure that things are done culturally. It's all wonderful and good to have, like the big day, the white wedding, or your version of the white wedding. But when you come from a very traditional family as a South African, or should I say, as an African, when you come from a very traditional family, for your wedding, you need to also make sure that stuff culturally, traditionally, is done the right way. So I'm happy that they got I don't know what to call the guy, okay? Ungizu. I'll just say he was the cultural consultant for them to make sure that they're doing everything correctly. Also, especially because these are two different cultures, as we have learned, Mampintsha being Zulu, Babes Wodumo being Swati. Yes, so that went well. We saw their wedding. Babes Wodumo's dress was actually, their wedding outfits were beautiful. I loved it. I would not have chosen green. I don't know why green was chosen, but it wasn't my wedding. So hello, nobody cares. I wish I was at their wedding because the bride and groom performed. I want to be at a wedding where the bride and the groom perform for me as the attendee of their wedding. I think that was so fun. That was so epic. But also, that is so them. They are performers, they are entertainers, and clearly they love it. And so they chose to share that part of themselves on their wedding day with their wedding guests. Okay. I want to move on to the next part where we can learn some lessons from Babes and Mampintsha's love story. As people at home, we must learn from celebrities. What they're doing well, we can try and emulate. What they've done not so well, we can use that as cautionary tales and not repeat. Also, not try and make it the norm just because a celebrity did it. Okay. First thing first, I want to mention a big age gap between the two people in a relationship. I mean, at a certain point in our lives, like if we are all over 30, I think a big age gap is not a big deal. But when one is under 20, under 19, I'm not sure how young Babes was when this relationship started with her and Mampintsha, but it worked for them, but it will not work for everybody out there. Somebody will be taken advantage of, somebody will not be listened to. You don't want to be in a relationship with somebody and you start feeling like, oh my God, I'm a parent here. I feel like I'm your parent. Or you don't want to be in a relationship with somebody and you're like, why are you acting like my dad? So I mean, when you're much younger, try and steer clear of relationships where the other person is much older. The next issue, the most sensitive issue ever, gender-based violence, domestic abuse. We all know it happened between Babes and Mampintsha. They took each other to court. There were restraining orders. So violence in their relationship did exist. Violence in a relationship should never be tolerated. Abuse in a relationship should never be tolerated in any of its forms. Sexual abuse, physical abuse, emotional abuse, psychological abuse. There's even, is it financial abuse? It shouldn't be tolerated, When your partner abuses you, do not try and justify their actions. Do not try and make excuses for their actions. Don't be like, oh, I said this, I did this, that's why he took my money. That's why she hit me, and stuff like. No, abuse is abuse is abuse. It should never be tolerated. When you see signs of abuse in a relationship, it would be to your best interest to walk away. You will be much safer. You won't be hurt. You will be a whole person. You'll find somebody else to love somewhere down the line. But once again, for Babes and Mampintsha, they stuck it through. It worked for them so far. They still together. I mean, they just got married. But it doesn't mean that everybody in an abusive relationship, you're going to get married. And it doesn't mean that everybody in an abusive relationship, the abuse is going to stop. Okay, for many people, the abuse persists for years and years and years until finally something, I don't know, the sun shines brighter that day and somebody leaves the relationship, or somebody dies, or somebody else intervenes. But nobody deserves to be abused for years and years and years, which is why the best advice is, if you sing the signs, leave. But clearly, Babes and Mampintsha are an exceptional case, in the sense that it seemed like they have stopped abusing each other. I'll say each other because I was not there. I don't know who hit who first. I don't know if she never hit him. I don't know. I'll just say. Okay? Okay? My next issue that I want to touch on: infidelity, cheating. So when Babes and Mampintsha were having their therapy session, and the pastor asked Babes, what would Babes like Mampintsha to change? Babes mentioned the other woman. And she mentioned the other woman more than once. She was saying, yeah, it's about time I become a wife. I'm too tired of being a girlfriend. The other side chicks better know that I'm the wife now. And why are we normalizing that? Why are we normalizing things that hurt you in a relationship? If y'all are in an open relationship, that's okay. I'm not saying they're in an open relationship. If y'all are in an open relationship, that's okay. But if you are being monogamous and your partner is not, and you are expecting monogamy and your partner is not giving it to you, you're just sitting in a situation that's going to keep hurting you, So yeah, that's should not be tolerable in a relationship, because it breaks down your self-esteem. And when your self-esteem breaks down, you're no longer the person that your partner loved. And then that leads to more problems and more problems and more problems. Okay, I'm gonna leave that one there. I'm gonna end this on a good note with compatibility. It is important to be compatible in a relationship, as we have seen with Babes and Mampintsha. They make sense together. Okay, oh my God, they speak the same language. The love between them is clear, plain as day for everyone to see. Like, he says something, she adds on it. She says something, he adds on it. She does something silly, he laughs it off, vice versa. So listen, if they can just focus on all that stuff, the good stuff, they'll stay happy. We'll stay happy. We're gonna continue being fans of their relationship, because whether we like it or not, we end up being invested in the relationships of celebrities, whether it's good for us or them or not, but we end up doing it. And as I've said before, I've loved Uthando Lodumo. I've enjoyed it. Ngigcwele ngabo, ngigcwele ngagcwala ubhavu, ngachitheka ngangena emfuleni ngayongena olwandle, ngagcwala nolwandle. Ngigcwele ngoBabes noMampintsha. I wish them nothing but the best for their future, for their family.